Hey there, welcome back. I am in Moccasin Lake Nature Park, which is one of my favorite parks in Clearwater, and it's been raining almost nonstop for about a week, so I'm hoping all of the streams will be really full of water and flowing really nicely and beautifully, and get some good footage there. So I'm going to take you with me as I walk around the park to the butterfly garden and along the trails and take a look at the streams and show you a little bit of what Moccasin Lake Park is all about. So let's get going. Moccasin Lake has a playground. There are kids there right now, so I'm not going to show it because I don't like to do that kind of thing. But it has, it's over on this side. It has this lodge slash classroom building. We used to hold our photography group meetings in there. And then we come over here. There is a butterfly garden, and one of my favorite parts of Moccasin Lake, which is the turtle ponds. There are the turtles. When it's cold out, they like to hang out on that log and on the rocks. But it's not cold out now, so they are enjoying their cool water. The butterfly garden, which has, as you would expect, lots of beautiful native flowers, like this fall sunflower. Is native coffee. It's shiny coffee. It's not the kind that you drink, although I've heard that you can, and it grows very well with this fabulous little plant called beautyberry, American beautyberry, and the berries are coming out right here. They grow along where the leaves attach to the stem, and they'll grow into these really wonderful deep purple or white. The most common one is deep purple, but sometimes you'll have white berries. There is white beautyberry, and you can make tea or jam. Those are the two most common things. They don't have a particularly strong taste. This is firebush. They don't have a particularly strong taste, so most people don't really use it as a food source. They just leave it out for wildlife as a food source because wildlife really loves it. This is a butterfly house for butterflies to create their chrysalis in. And you can see there's a lot of coffee and beautyberry growing side by side. They're friends. They like to hang out together. we get over to the main trails, I'm going to come back here. This is a place, an area that I think is often overlooked by visitors to Moccasin Lake. It's a little off the beaten path back here, behind this shed. And it's just a bird blind and a, you know, like a garden area that the Boy Scout troops have put together for the birds. So if you don't know the park or have a map that shows you these things, let's go look over here for a second. Then you might not know it's back there. Gopher tortoises. There are gopher tortoises here. That is not one, that's just a statue. They do love to eat all of these things. They are protected in Florida. You can't pick them up, move them, harass them, do anything, because it's a considerable fine for harassing the gopher tortoises. They are an endangered species, and they're also a keystone species, which means that they're vitally important and one of the species that, if they are gone, will have huge ramifications across the entire ecosystem. So there's a squirrel out there. I see some butterflies. There's another squirrel here. They're awfully fat. Looks like someone's been feeding them. I don't know if you can hear in the background that cawing sound. That is a peacock. There are a lot of peacocks living in this park, in the neighborhood that surrounds this park. They are super loud. I know people think they're beautiful and majestic and fantastic. They are so loud. And I even know some people who like the sound of their bird call. I'm not one of them. Squirrel fight. I do love to look at the peacocks though. They are beautiful. I do love to photograph them. I didn't show you guys what I brought in my bag. Today in my bag I have my big camera. I have my phone, of course, a bottle of water, and 2 lenses for my big camera. I have the telephoto and I have the wide angle because I have a couple of photographs that I'd like to try and take while we're out walking around. Okay, let's get started on the trail. You can see back there in the background is the playground. I think the kids have left. We're going to head in this direction. All the trails here are unpaved. So if you need a paved trail, this is not a good park for you to come to. They're relatively smooth, but they are gravel and unpaved, and there are places that are uneven. Also, dogs are not allowed. It's a nature park, and dogs need to stay home so that they don't disturb any of the nature that's living in the park. I'm super excited today about seeing the streams because we'd had a couple of years of a pretty good drought, and last year we had all the rain from Hurricane Helene and then from Hurricane Milton 10 days later, but Milton also destroyed a lot of the boardwalks and closed parts of the trails out here, so despite having rain in a very short period of time, the trails weren't open to be able to go out and take a look at the stream. And one of my favorite things is looking at the streams and, you know, the sound of the rushing water. It's all kind of very relaxing. So I love to come out here and take a look at them when I can. This is shampoo ginger. It's not native to Florida. That can be used for cleaning and for shampoos. Looks like I got an ant on it. And Moccasin Lake, this park, and Kapok Park next door were part of these exotic gardens that had planted all of these things. So all of this is still living here. It's pretty neat stuff. I've been trying to grow it in my yard so that I can have the shampoo from it. Not successful so far. The other thing that shouldn't be here is this. It's a pretty leaf, but it's air potato. And air potato is highly invasive. It takes over everything. It grows over everything. It's really hard to eradicate once it establishes itself like it has here. There are some beetles that will take care of it, but yeah, it's kind of all over the place in the park right now, which is a shame. But this shampoo ginger is really neat. This one doesn't have much. Doesn't smell like anything. It's just, looks like we've got flowing water already. That trail comes over from the nature center, which we will catch on the other side of these. There are a couple of different ways to get here. So this is Moccasin Pond. And then the water you hear is this outflow. It's a really beautiful tumbling creek down there. And yes, there are alligators in these lakes, in these ponds. But honestly, if it's a body of water in Florida, you should just assume that there's gator. don't see the turtles. There are turtles that live in here. This is where the soft-shell turtles live, but I don't see any today. Usually they come racing over looking for food, but they might have plenty of food at this time of year that they're just not interested. Moccasin Lake is next to Highway 19, which is the traffic noise you hear in the background. So it's almost always got noise happening that you just can't get away from. We're headed now to the bird blind that overlooks Moccasin Lake, and then we'll come back and head over to the little observation pier, and then take the boardwalk if it's open again over across the streams and see if they have water in them. I imagine they do. Well, it looks like it's quite overgrown from the last time I was here. You can't really see much of the lake. It's behind all those bushes and trees. Looks like it's still pretty dry despite all the rain we've had. Trail here just heads out a little bit further and then ends, so we're going to head back towards the other side of the lake and the little observation deck. That also doesn't really go anywhere either. Just a couple of little spurs. In the shade, it's a good 10 degrees cooler than not in the shade. Look at this tree. These are muscadine grapes. Well, the muscadine grapevine. Also native Floridian plants, and they grow kind of everywhere. I've got tons of it in my yard too. Wow. First time I came out to this park, oh, I don't know, probably 6 years ago or so. This lake was full of water. Like full of water. And you can see now there's hardly any water left in there at all. That sound you hear is a moorhen. I don't see it, but it's out there somewhere. You can see the bird blind back there among the trees. It really is a shame. This was a gorgeous lake. Tons of wildlife in it. I'm sure there's still a bunch of wildlife in it, but it's really a shame that it's getting dried up like this. And of course there you can see the highway, which is where we're getting all the noise from. All right, let's go find streams. This, by the way, is Brazilian pepper. It's highly invasive. A lot of people have a skin reaction to it, but if it's in your yard, if you live in Florida and it's in your yard, you should get rid of it as soon as possible. It will take over everything, and it doesn't have any suitable uses in a native Florida or Florida friendly yard as far as many of us are concerned. Here we go. It looks like the boardwalk's open again. That is all air potato that's covering the trees and the ground there. And you might be wondering why the city, this is a city park, why the city doesn't get in here and take all this stuff out. Like this also, this is Caesar weed, also highly invasive. And you know, it really just boils down to manpower, money. If you don't have those things, then it's hard to keep on top of all of this stuff. This is the biggest stream in the park. It's still not very high compared to what I've seen it in the past. You see there's some trees down still over there. All right, let's move on and see what else we find. This would be one of the reasons that Moccasin Lake is still so low, because these streams all feed the lake, and if they don't have water, then the lake isn't going to have water. We've had, like I said, a few years of pretty good drought, so it's no wonder that the lake is still low on water and that the streams still don't have a whole lot of water in them, despite the week of rain that we've had. This is also usually been a running stream, but it looks like there's still not enough water in there for it to run or to flow well. This was a little shelter gazebo thing prior to Milton. Milton, of course, has come through and knocked it down. And as you can see, there are still down trees all over the place. As a nature park, they'll let most of this, anything that's not a problem for park facilities, they'll just let it remain in nature as it would have, 100, 200, 500 years ago. There wasn't no one there to clean up trees and open up waterways, so the animals in nature just dealt with it when a hurricane or a storm came through and knocked things over. And in this nature park, they will also handle it, deal with it, and change, no doubt. There's a little stream in there. That fence on the other side there is the park boundary, and there is actually, you might be able to see it, a railroad track, an active railroad track over there. Teeny tiny little flowing stream. Y'all, please don't do that. Like, the tree didn't ask to have things carved on it. I mean, if you gotta carve on something, I don't know, carve on your own skin. Leave the tree skin alone. Really is quite tropical-like out here. Subtropical. Feel the heat in it too. It is. Let me see how hot it is. It's 87 degrees right now. Feels like 100. It does feel like 100. Sweat. Red face. Don't worry about the red face. I turn red-faced anytime I start sweating. It's happened my entire life. It's just a cooling mechanism, I guess. I know it's not super attractive, but I'm not out here hiking to meet somebody. I'm walking through nature to walk through nature and enjoy it. Okay. We're at the end of the trail. It's only about a mile. It's not very long. But we're going to come in here now and take a look at the birds. They have a bird of prey rescue facility. I'm not really sure if we could call it rescue, but anyways, these guys can't go back out into the wild for various reasons. So they have a home here. There are hawks, owls, An eagle. An eagle? I think so. Great picnic shelter facility. We do a lot of events down in here. Definitely a vulture. The osprey. 2 of them. Looks like he's got something in his paw. This is Elvis the vulture, and he will take your fingers off. Short-tailed hawk up there in the corner. Here is the eagle, Penelope. They have a birthday for her every year. Hi, Penelope. And then they have a little garden out here where they grow things for that they feed to the animals, for the birds and stuff. And the last place we are going to check out is ta-da, the Nature Center, which has a little free library. Come on in. It's nice and air conditioned in here. Yeah. This guy is a soft-shell turtle. Oh man, y'all. So the battery died on the GoPro in the Nature Center. And so I'm in my car. I tried this little outro video thingy 3 times in the car on the way here, and I kept not hitting record, or it was on photo, or it wasn't, you know, whatever, something happened. So 3rd time's the charm. Thanks for joining me on the walk at Moccasin Lake Nature Park. I hope you enjoyed it. It is my favorite park in Clearwater, hands down, easily. It's a great little park. If you haven't been there, go check it out. I'll leave the address and all of that stuff in the description. And yeah, we'll have more weekly videos coming up. So be sure you like, subscribe. Let me know what was your favorite part of Moccasin Lake Park. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep wandering. Have a great time. And have a great week. Bye-bye.